right, let's get started with the pinned comment. This. Hello Brandão. Hello Rodrigo. Okay, this. Just trying to pin the comment here. This question. How do I improve my vocab? What happened? What happened? Hello everybody, I'm trying to write the comment. Okay, it's still here. My vocab in English. Okay. Post? Okay, I know what's going on. Okay, let me pin this. Right. Excellent. Okay. Hello everybody. So, hello Rodrigo, M. Ferreira, Esther. Hi Rodrigo, thank you very much. How are you doing today? How was your morning? Hi Ju. Hello. Tai Pamplona. Tayane from Fortaleza. Hello Tayane, how are you? Estela, hello. Marcela Cabral, hi. Regina. Marcial Reis, hello. Eder, hi. Thank you, Rodrigo, thank you so much. I hope one day we can chat here, right? Isaías, Meires, Hama. He asked how can we improve this vocab in English. Yeah, well, not just his vocab. So today the idea is, I don't know what's happening here, can't read everything. But yesterday, in our live stream yesterday, Yodi, we tried to talk a little bit here, to chat, but it was difficult. He wanted to ask me a question, and his question was, how do I improve my vocab in English, right? So this I means everybody, all of us. How can we improve our vocabulary in a language that we're learning? And not just English, any language. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. If you guys have any ideas, it would be really nice to hear from you. How do you learn vocab? How do you learn vocabulary? How do you remember the words? What are your strategies, your techniques? What do you do to remember the words and use them, okay? My hair is still wet, it's a little messy, but let's get started here. So, I'm going to give you some ideas here, just a few ideas, but I really would like to hear from you and to add to this, okay? So, the very first thing one should do to improve and to expand the range of words, is to read. Read a lot, right? Read every day and read a lot. And read from various sources, not just one kind of text from one person. No, try to vary the kind of sources. You can even count into these sources video games, right? There are many people, I've met many people who learned a lot from video games, playing video games. But books, magazines, newspapers or news media sites, websites, what else? Of course, messages, internet in general, right? Write messages whenever you can, and actually we were talking about reading here, so read as much as you can, not just the posts and things like that if we are talking about the internet, but also comments. Read comments too. I know nowadays some people don't like to read comments. I know many people who post, write blog posts and things like that, and they don't read the comments, and I completely understand that. But if you're learning a language, it's interesting. I like to do that. I like to read comments on Instagram posts and also YouTube under, below the videos. I like to read some comments there too. Okay, so reading is essential. This is the first thing you should do if you want to improve your vocabulary, learn more words. Another important thing, read, but learn the vocabulary in context. I would avoid learning isolated words. Avoid doing that. It's very hard to use them later on in a context if you forgot the context they were used, they were being used. So I would suggest when you find a word, so you should look up words you don't know in a dictionary, right? Let's suppose you found a word there, you don't know what it means in the text. Look it up, take a look at the definition, take a look at the examples. The dictionaries nowadays, always, they're always making this effort to do that, to show a word in the context. And also, nowadays, we do have this benefit of the recordings. You can listen to the recordings. So do that too if you see a new word. Learn new words every day, okay? And learn just a few words every day. Don't learn like 10 words, 50 words every day. I don't know, like I'm talking about new words, right? So try to work, especially if you're super busy. Most of our students are super busy. They have very little time to study, to learn, to practice. So select like 3 words per day, every day. And preferably if they are connected or if you can connect them in some way, because in this way it will be easier for you to remember these words later on when you need them. So work with very small chunks. Okay, 3 words is a very good day. It's a very good number. If you have a busy day, do that. Work with chunks. I actually am going to do a special live stream just about chunking. Do you know what it means? Chunking, to chunk. So we're going to talk about it in another live stream. It will demand more time. But try to associate the words, try to visualize the words, try to visualize them in your head, try to imagine them in a context, in a story. Also, try to create a connection with these words emotionally. Try to make these words more personal. Bring them to your life. Bring them to life. So try to see how could you use them, how could you use these words in your life, in what situation, talking to what person. Try to imagine situations when you can use these words. Make up strategies to remember the words, right? There are many memorization techniques that you can we can actually do another live stream just talking about these techniques, but making up associations, associating words with something else, a new word with something that you already know. I don't have a dog, but my neighbors do. They have lots of dogs, so they're barking now. Make associations with the words, okay? Use mnemonics. Mnemonics is a technique where you kind of you get like 3 words, new words, and then you create a story in your mind using these words. To help really, something that really helps you remember the words is to make up a funny story, a story that makes you laugh. So it should be a crazy story, original, very creative, and the crazier the story, the easier it will be to remember, for you to remember. I remember now, in fact, that I watched a few YouTube videos. There were some memory champions, memorization champions presenting, talking about it on TED. You will find them there. And they did this experiment with the audience, and I tried it too. And I remember today, I watched these videos like a month ago, and I remembered the story I created in my head using the words they were telling us to use. So it really works. Create a very funny story. Use your creativity. You need to be creative here, okay? And the more bizarre your story is, the easier it will be for you to remember the words later on. Use mnemonics. Use spaced repetition systems like Anki. We can also do a live stream just for Anki. There are actually today, I would say the two most used systems are Anki and Quizlet. I kind of prefer Quizlet at this point, but I'm willing to try Anki again. I've tried using Anki like a few times in the past 4 years. I tried like 3 times without success, but I'm willing to try it again. But spaced repetition systems work very well for certain people at least, so give it a try and let us know here. Use the words. You should try to use the new word immediately, okay? Today is very easy because if you learn a new word, you can just use it right away on a WhatsApp group. You probably already belong to a conversation club on WhatsApp, because there are millions of clubs everywhere. Yodi, by the way, I took a look at his profile. He is the host of a conversation club on WhatsApp, so get in touch with him, join his club, and use the words you're learning right away. Don't wait. Don't wait. Start using, because the minute you start using the word and people start, reacting to the way you use the word, this will help you remember the word. Maybe everything I'm saying here you have experienced yourselves. I would like to hear from you, but let's move on. Try to work with practical vocabulary, because since you need to make this word personal, you have to establish an emotional connection with it. You should try to use it right away, right? Try to use words that are more practical. Work with words that are useful in our everyday lives. Leave the more sophisticated words for the future. If you are unhappy with the words, with the knowledge you have today of words to use in a practical way in your everyday conversations, right? If you're not happy, work with practical words. But if you're feeling fine, if you're feeling comfortable and you're getting bored with the words you know, try to, let's move on to the next topic here. Keep a journal. I don't know if you know what a journal is. It would be something like a diary. It's a notebook, preferably write by hand, okay? Long hands, right? Write by hand, because it helps us remember the word, memorize the words faster also. And in this journal, you should try to use these words, because when we write, we tend to remember these words more. So especially if it's part of a context, a story that has meaning for you, right? So try to keep a journal. These are most of these tips actually I need to start using. I'm actually doing this because I want to do it for my Polish practice. I want to include this. I've seen people doing that on Instagram, writing journals, and I think it was too early for me a few months ago, and now I think I'm approaching this point when I can start writing a journal, and it will be great. People love it. People who do it love it. So I was saying about, I was talking about people who are getting bored with the vocabulary they have. Okay, I have a vocabulary, it's good enough to communicate with people, okay, but I'm bored, I want to learn more. Use a thesaurus. A thesaurus is a dictionary, it's a synonym dictionary, it's awesome. I recommend it for when you're writing a text, especially if it's a text for, you know, more serious texts, like for a test, an exam, something like that, where you should not use very basic, you know, those two basic words. You should show that you have good range, you know, a good range of words. So use the thesaurus for that, okay? It's a synonym dictionary. And finally, have fun, right? You cannot learn a language if you're not having fun. It will be horrible, horrible. So have fun and laugh a lot. You can have fun like me. I'm always laughing at myself, at my videos, at my mistakes. But you can also play games. There are many games, and again, I would like to hear from you. What kinds of games do you play involving words, right? So there are puzzles. On the internet. I think, of course, there are some apps and, you know, things like that. And try also board games, because these are more difficult to come across, right? Board games. But if you have access to one, go ahead and do it. People usually play word games on WhatsApp groups again, conversation clubs. So try to make up a game, try to come up with your own game, try to invent a game. This is very helpful too. Yodi, you're here, so I'm answering. I'm very sorry this live stream, I had to do it earlier than I had planned. It was supposed to be a few hours later, but I didn't want to let this question go unanswered. It's a great question. Thank you again, Yodi. So let me know your thoughts on this. I would like to hear from you. Let's see here the comments, how much time we have. Yeah, today I don't have much time again. So let's see if you have any questions. Yes. So Ju, I don't know if you're here, but how do you learn more words? What do you do to learn more words? Amy Ferreira from Belo Horizonte. Yes, I'm from Belo Horizonte too. Very good, Rodrigo. Sergio, hello. Eder, hello. Rafael, Gabriel. It's very nice to have you here, to have you all here. Yodi. So, Ju, I usually try to speak using this word every single day. I also take notes using the word I just learned. That's very good. Ju, can you tell us an example? Can you give us an example of a word that you learned recently? Can you teach us this word? Write it here for us, please. Yodi, tell me about how to improve a new... Yes, I just answered. The whole live was about that, Yodi. So I want your feedback. What do you think about what I said? I have a little difficulty to read a big text. The tip here, yeah, so if you're reading a long text or a more difficult text, let's say a New York Times article, right? That will be a hard one. First thing, well, there will be lots and lots and lots of new words. Are you going to learn all these words at once? No, forget about it, okay? So try to run your eyes first. Take a look at the headline to see what the article will be about, right? And then run your eyes. Don't read line by line. Don't do that, okay? Run your eyes, run your eyes quickly over the article, just to have a very rough idea of how the text is organized. You know, take a very quick look at the paragraphs, the sequence of events there. Take a special look at the very first paragraph, which is the introduction, where the writer is exposing the problem, okay? And then there are the middle paragraphs where the writer is explaining, giving examples, you know, taking a look at the pros and cons, listening to people, blah, blah, blah. At the end, you have the conclusion. Take a very special look at the last paragraph also, because there you have the conclusion, and then the writer is always saying something like that. Oh, so to sum up, you know, this and this and this are the main points of the whole thing. Take a look at the first paragraph and the last paragraph and read many times. But the first times should be really fast. It's not reading word by word. You're just scanning the text. You're just running your eyes really quickly. The second time, you're more relaxed. I already know what this is about. You're going to slow down a little bit. It's not a lot. It's just a little. And then you start to read a little slower, but until the end. And then you can go, you know, over the text many times. And then you can choose 1, 2, or 3 words to work with, okay? Preferably, they should have a connection, you know, between them or among them, because if they have a connection, it's easier for you to remember them, okay? So that would be my approach to a long and difficult text. Yes, read newspapers, news articles, okay? I would recommend the New York Times and the Guardian. I tend to use these two most in class. I also like to use VOA News, and I also like to use News in Levels. But News in Levels has very short texts. I recommend it because of that. And the news are told in 3 different levels. Very basic one, kind of intermediate one, and a more complete and complex one, okay? Can you suggest a good online dictionary? There are so many good dictionaries. I use all of them. I like the free dictionary. That's the one I've been using the longest, the free dictionary. There is also, well, there is the thesaurus, which is the synonym dictionary. If you write thesaurus, like this, thesaurus, you will, it's because this thing is covering but oh my god, I don't think, oh, now maybe, yes, thesaurus, Merriam-Webster, Collins, what else? Those are the ones I remember. But if you type in the search box, Google search box, a word, my tip is type in the word, for example, house, and then the word meaning. House, so house, meaning. And then you see all the main dictionaries, online dictionaries there, okay? And all of them are good, especially because they have the recordings, they have the examples, right? Okay, let's see what else. Hello, Vander. Yodi, what time is it in your country? Yes, here it's 3:30. Are you from Indonesia? Where are you from, Yodi? It says BR. I thought maybe you were here in Brazil. Hello, Douglas. Hello, Samuel. Bye-bye, Ju. See you next time. Thank you so much for joining. Oh, Indonesia. So cool. Oh, so cool. Wow, that's very late. I'm sorry, but this live will be saved. It will be on our YouTube channel, MELHORE SEU INGLês. We will upload it there so you can take a look again. And where do you live? I live in Belo Horizonte, Minas Gerais. What about you, Rodrigo? Where do you live? Indonesia, yes. Yodi, if you have other questions, that was a really good question. If you have other, actually all of you, okay? If you have any suggestions, hello, Yulia. Yulia is here. I don't know if she's still here, but she was. Cristiano, Expedito, Annie, hello, hello. Do you know about Indonesia? I know very little about Indonesia. I am getting to know it a little bit more now that I'm part of a community on Instagram, and there are some Indonesians there, and it's great to know about different places. I haven't dealt with the language yet. I haven't tried, because this is my main focus now is Polish, right? But I take part every now and then of a challenge called Lang Jam, and the languages are drawn, and we receive, like, we are told what language we're going to practice for a weekend, learn for a weekend. So I got Hindi once, and then Thai the second time. This is the closest I got from Indonesia. I would really like to learn it one day, definitely. Yeah, you're welcome. Hello, Josie. So, personality development is here. Thank you. Hello. May love Brazil. Amanda Jordão. Hello. Yes, so. Well, you're sending requests here. Is it a real request, or did you just tap it like, let's try? So, let's try Tanya. Do it by mistake. But let's see if Tanya wants to talk a little. Hello, Lily. Lily is here. Oops. Chris. There we go. And let's see if I can hear you. Tanya. Hello? Tanya? I don't know, I think she just did it by mistake. Let's see if there is somebody else here. Okay, request. These are requests. Like I said, sometimes people do it by mistake. So I think Kaka has, okay, given up, unable to join. And that's it. Right, so I think that's it for today. Would you like to ask a question? Would you like me to talk about anything in the next live streams? We can talk about it. I would like to hear from you. How do you learn vocabulary? Okay. In my case with Polish, I use apps. I haven't been reading texts a lot. I should read more. I've been using apps. This is the first thing I do. And I've been using, first one is Closemaster, no, before that, Mondly. Mondly, we learn words, sentences. The sentences are very short and simple, and it's just around 10 words and sentences. It's a very short kind of practice, and I like it because I can focus. One thing that I haven't been doing is copying these words on my notebook. I should be doing that. But then after that, I work with Closemaster. I told you that I decreased the amount of points per day from 200 to 10. So now I have been writing the sentences on my notebook. I'm going to read to you because I translate into English. I get the translation into English. So the sentences I learned today in Polish. Could you act for me while I'm out? This is the translation in the app. I think it means, could you take my place? Could you take over while I'm out? Do you know what it means? Could you take over while I'm out? Could you act in my, could you do something in my, how do they say that? There is a formal way to say it, to do something, right? To substitute for you. I don't believe you is the other sentence I learned. I don't believe you. If you're curious about how it is in Polish, nie wierzę ci, nie wierzę ci. You have to try again. You have to try again. So, I don't believe you is a word I could use talking to someone. I don't believe you, nie wierzę ci. Actually, just doing this here helps me remember the sentences. I'm going to use this live stream to practice my Polish. The next one, so you have to try again. You have to try again. It's a very useful sentence. If I were you, I would write this sentence down on a notebook right now. Okay, you have to try again. Dictation, let's do some dictation here. You have to try again. That will be musisz, I'm not sure if it's musisz spróbować znowu. Musisz spróbować znowu. Musisz spróbować znowu. Hello, Marcelo. Hello, Sonia. So you have to try it again. Try it again. Tom doesn't want to work here. This is a good sentence too. Tom doesn't want to work here. Tom doesn't want to work here. Doesn't want to work here. Tom nie chce tutaj pracować. Tom nie chce tutaj pracować. Nobody loves me. Is this a good sentence to know? I hope not. I hope you wouldn't feel like saying this sentence. Nobody loves me. But if you want to know in Polish, nobody loves me is nikt mnie nie kocha. Nikt mnie nie kocha. Kocha. Nikt mnie nie kocha. Nobody loves me. He knows the city well. He knows the city well. And then you can substitute. Oh, another thing you can do to practice, to learn vocabulary. Substitute words in a sentence. So he knows the city well. You can say he knows the country well. He knows the school well. He knows that person well. He knows that book well. He knows that teacher well. So this is great too. This is a very great exercise. This is kind of drilling. I like drilling. I think it helps learning, remembering the words. That's why Tom came. That's why he came. That's why Tom came. Dlatego Tom przyszedł. Dlatego Tom przyszedł. It's getting late and I don't like to go home alone. This is good. This is a good sentence. It's getting late and I don't like to get home alone. I don't like to go home alone. It's getting late and I don't like to go home alone. Are you writing down these sentences? Yeah, we could work with some dictation here too. So in Polish, robi się późno, a ja nie lubię iść sama do domu. I have to go if you don't mind. This is a good one. I have to go if you don't mind. I have to go now if you don't mind. If you're talking to someone, you need to end the conversation, you need to leave, like here, just now. You can write a sentence here. I need to go now if you don't mind. Yes. And that will be jeśli nie masz przeciwko, muszę już iść. Ja mam na nazwisko. This is a good one. What is your surname? Do you know what a surname is? Branca, I'm not Jackie. I'm Erika. I don't know if you're confusing me with Jackie. Jackie is another teacher. I don't remember right now her handle, her Instagram handle. I don't know if she uses her name, but I know that she's a teacher. My name is Erika. Okay. I'm doing well, Branca. How are you? Okay. What is your surname? Do you know what a surname is? Surname is your last name. So, Erika de Pádua. De Pádua is my surname. Okay. My first name is Erika. So in Polish it will be jak ma na nazwisko. Jak ma na nazwisko. Hello, Newton. Newton. It's bedtime. It's bedtime. It's time to go to bed. It's time to go to sleep. Okay, this is a good one too. I need to go now. It's bedtime. It's bedtime. It's time to go to bed. It's time to go to sleep. Czas spać. Much easier in Polish. Czas spać. Boję się iść. I'm afraid to go. Yeah, this is a weird one. I'm afraid to go. I'm afraid to go there. I'm afraid to go somewhere. I'm afraid to go there. okay? So these are the sentences I learned today in Polish with the translation in English. I still need the translation. I would recommend, if you have reached like an intermediate level, try to avoid Portuguese as much as you can and try to work with English only, okay? So if you come across a new word, try to get the meaning, the explanation for the word in English. So if all the dictionaries I mentioned here are English, they're not English Portuguese, okay? For beginners, I would recommend Google, because if you are a beginner, you're not going to be able to deal with very long and complex sentences, and Google has a problem with long and complex sentences. If you're working with you know, isolated words and or just very, you know, basic combinations of words, Google will understand you for sure. But if you remember, if you're writing in Portuguese, you have to write correctly in Portuguese. If you make a mess in Portuguese, Google will not understand you, okay? So you need to make sure the sentence is complete, there is a context, the spelling is right, otherwise the machine doesn't work, okay? Doesn't understand you. So otherwise, if you're writing complete sentences with the right spelling and so on, you get the translation from Google. So yeah, and the other thing I was going to say, I forgot to give as an example before. I said that avoid learning one word, or even a little worse than that, avoid making lists of words. Do you do that? Do you like make lists of words and then you try to memorize the words? People have been kind of given a break at doing this because it's not as efficient as learning them in context, and especially learning them in, especially if they go together with other words. Sometimes, in some cases, it's called a collocation. Okay, for example, when you say black and white, a black and white TV, a black and white TV. Black and white is a group of words that we have to use. We have to use these words in this sequence. You cannot move the words around. You cannot use other words. If you mean preto e branco, in Portuguese is preto e branco, in Portuguese is black and white. Black and white. Okay, and the other example I wanted to give here is, for example, listen to music. I would recommend remembering this. Listen to music. Why? Because in Portuguese we don't use the word to. And what happens is that the students, they say listen something, listen music, which is wrong. There is something missing there. You need to use the word to. You cannot say listen something. It's different from Portuguese. You're listening to something, listening to music, listening to the radio, listening to the teacher. Okay, so try to work with groups of words like that. Another example that is very common, also a mistake people make, is in Portuguese we say por causa disso, and in English people say because this, which is wrong. In English you need to add a little word between because this, because of this, because of this. So it's 3 words you have to remember. It's different from Portuguese. 3 words. Because of this. Because of this. Because of this, I'm not going there. Because of this, I'm studying Polish. Because of this, I'm doing this live stream. And okay, so pay attention. Pay attention to this. Avoid working with just one word at a time. Try to contextualize always. Bom fim. That's right, Marcelo. You got it right. Perfect. Perfect. So what's your surname? What's your surname? My surname is Bonfim. Great job. Branca, what is the best form for? For what? Tell me. José, oops. Join. Baby English is here, hello? Because of this, yes, Marcelo, because of this. Don't forget that. So, you have just learned the 3 words that you needed to learn today, right? Because of this, 3 words. This is it. These are the 3 words of the day. Now, you need to start using this immediately. Immediately. Can you all write a sentence here using because of this? You need to, because of this. This refers to something else, right? But you can forget that for now, and you can just use because of this, blah, blah, blah. Okay? If you want to, I think it's a good, let me just close this. It's a good opportunity to practice. Just arrange my hair again. Hello, Leonilia, how are you? Kleber, how are you? So, for you two who have just arrived, I was teaching. I'm not sure she wants to talk, but I'll try. It's just by mistake. Is it by mistake or not? Hello, Leonilia.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Fine, thanks.
Okay, great. Finally, someone wants to talk to me here. That's awesome.
I don't speak English.
Oh, yes, you speak English. Oh, where are you from?
Porto Alegre.
Porto Alegre, that's awesome. And yes, how is the weather in Porto Alegre today?
I don't understand.
Oh, the weather, the sky, the sun, is it rainy, chuvoso, cloudy, nublado?
Fine. Fine.
It's
fine.
fine.
Nice.
It's
fine.
good, yes, it's fine.
Yes.
What are, oh, good to see you. What are your plans for today?
In my home.
Stay home?
Stay home.
Do you like to watch movies on TV?
Sim, TV, movies. I like this.
Excellent.
Everything.
Okay, very good. Very good. But your English is good. You are learning English now, yeah? Are you having classes?
No. Não sei como falar.
You learned a long time ago. How did you learn English? Como é que você aprendeu inglês?
A very time ago, I make cultural, but poucos anos, assim, bem superficial, assim.
Superficial.
Mas tem vontade.
I want.
Hide and read, né? Is mais fácil. More easy, né?
Yeah.
More easy. Right?
Definitely, reading.
Listen, no.
It's difficult.
E speak, também não. Also no, acho que.
But people in Porto Alegre in the south, so there are communities of Italians, right? Italians, German people, or no?
Sim, yes. Yes.
Are there...
I was born in Porto Alegre, but my family is Ceará. Are from Ceará.
Okay.
Are from Ceará.
Okay. And do you like to travel?
Yes, I like very
A lot?
very.
Where did you go on your last trip?
Foz do Iguaçu.
Foz do Iguaçu. Oh,
Yes.
that's beautiful.
Beautiful. With my daughter. My daughter.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, Foz do Iguaçu.
Very nice. How many days? How many days did you stay there?
Ai, esqueci.
Do you understand the question?
Oh?
Do you understand the question? Or
No.
No? Okay. How many days? Quantos dias?
Yes. Third days.
30 days? Wow,
Yes.
fantastic.
Yes.
How did you go there? How? By plane, by car, by bus? How?
By plane.
By plane, okay. And where? Where did you stay? In a hotel, in a hostel?
Hotel. Resort.
Resort?
Resort, yes.
Okay, great.
Resort.
Excellent, fantastic. Oh, you can remember many words. Você está conseguindo lembrar muitas palavras. Quando foi a última vez que você falou inglês? Quando foi a última vez que você falou inglês com alguém?
20 years.
Tá vendo? Tá dando esperança pro pessoal aqui. 20 anos depois, exatamente. A gente consegue lembrar. I can remember so many words. Yes, you can understand me, né? Você tá me entendendo. And you remember the words.
More or less.
Yeah, but it needs practice.
I don't speak English. I don't speak. Some works. Assim.
English is important in some situations in our lives, right? But it's excellent that you can speak English now. That's fantastic. Very good. And what about
we were from?
I am from Belo Horizonte. Minas Gerais.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm from here. Yes. I'm from Belo Horizonte. Yeah. I have never been to the south. Never to the south. I've been to the northeast, Rio Grande do Norte, Natal.
Yes.
But a long time ago. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. The beaches, right? It's spectacular. It's good. Brazil is a beautiful country, and it's so different. Yes. Do you like to live in Porto Alegre? Do you like Porto Alegre?
Sim, I like.
Why? Why do you like it?
Nem sei.
Não sabe, você se sente confortável, né? You're comfortable there.
Nem sei.
It's a good life. You have a good life there.
I like, nem sei dizer, eu gosto, mas não.
Pois é, mas você se sente bem, né? É o clima, as pessoas, né? Você se adaptou bem.
Cidade, city, big city, more or less, né? More or less.
Very good.
Okay.
Very nice. Yes, I think that's it. I need to go now. But it was awesome that I got to talk to you. I wish I can talk to people more. I have to do speak. What can I have to do? Well, to talk to me, you can just tap the two faces below. Here on the bottom of the screen, you can see some icons, and there is one icon with two faces, né? Tem duas carinhas coladinhas. Acho que foi isso que você fez, né? Você toca lá, eu recebo o convite. Mas se não conseguir fazer isso, pode só me avisar que eu consigo também chamar a pessoa. Ok?
Ok.
Very nice. Thank you so much for the chat. Thank you, everybody. I hope you learned some ways here to learn words. And tomorrow there will be another live. I hope to see you tomorrow. I don't know what time. I think at around 8 p.m. Okay? And then we'll talk more tomorrow. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful Sunday. And that's it. See you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.